I am Jabria. I am the bride queen, and I have been called to get on live today. I was feeling this earlier. I was thinking about doing a scheduled one, but these things always happen more or more organically, and so here we are doing a semi-scheduled, unscheduled live, and Kitty's here as usual. So grateful for him. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I want to talk about in terms of this eclipse season that's coming up is inflammation. Inflammation. I do want to state that I am not I am not adept at astrology. I am not one of those awesome people who knows all this information. If you would like to listen to one of those people, I highly, highly, highly recommend Solora Rises, Solora Speaks. She is on YouTube here and also on Patreon. She does an excellent job of her own intuitive tarot astrology, as she calls it. I am just going to be speaking on my personal experiences with this upcoming eclipse stuff. And the first thing that I was getting to share about for this was inflammation, because right before I decided to do this live, I looked at my phone and I had a reminder to get burdock root. And so I was like, let me look up again what burdock root means and what it helps with. And it does help. It is an anti-inflammatory. And then right now my stomach is bloated, and then someone that I love and know, his foot is swollen. So inflammation is the expansion of something from its normal state. So I feel like that phrase right there can be taken for what this eclipse season is talking about. Something is being inflated from its original state into a different state. Now with inflammation or bloating, in my case, I've had a lot of bloating in my beautiful life. I have been told, or when I do research on it a lot, like I look it up on Google, that's my research, it often kind of tells you like preventative ways to stop bloating and not so much information about how to end bloating that you currently have. And I feel like, again, that can be applied to like everything that's going on right now, is like only knowing preventative measures, or only knowing maybe even potential like treatments, but nothing to like cure something right now. And I feel that that's adding to the frustration. Something else with bloating and just kind of inflammation, because even right before I was doing this, my mama was telling me a story about this lady from Netflix, like a Netflix docu-series or something, where she wanted to be pregnant so bad that she actually caused her stomach to inflate. Like she believed it like so wholeheartedly that her stomach inflated even though she wasn't pregnant. So here we kind of have like this mixture of two things, which in a way is the same thing, but one of them obviously is something getting bigger than what it actually is. So it's like the emotions and energies or situations right now, they may seem more serious than they actually are. Hi, everybody who's watching. Leave a heart and like this live and leave a comment. You know, all that stuff, and subscribe. Anywho, things are not as like severe as they seem. And that was something I was feeling earlier, because I was having this like headache, and I was like, thank you for the heart. I was having this headache, and I was like, okay, let me put on my Sparrow. And my Sparrow is electromagnetic field blocking material. And when I put that on, my headache went away. So that cued me in that they are right now sending out a lot of like frequencies that are not healthy for humans or for living creatures, because Kitty is included, even though he's doing quite well. And so it's like they're inflating this sense of urgency. They're inflating this sense of fear. They're increasing this sense of panic. And from those places, whenever people are in fear or in panic, they tend to do things that they typically wouldn't do. They inflate situations, and in such, it reflects in the body. But at the same time, inflation can also be like a means, I think more like biologically or scientifically, however you want to say it, to like flush something out. I'm pretty sure. It's like your body is like swelling because it's trying to like flush something out. And because it swells, it's also alerting your mind that, hey, something's going on, because if it didn't swell, then you probably wouldn't be paying so much attention to it. So it's like this multifaceted thing, just like everything is a multifaceted thing. Like on one end, it's like nothing, like too much, nothing real. It's like a inflated sense of urgency. But in the same stroke of the pen, it's also alerting you to things that do need to be removed that you didn't necessarily see beforehand. Oh my gosh. Let's do this. Okay. What else before? So also with that story that my mama was telling me, it was basically about this lady who like stole somebody else's, but Darius J. Wright has hinted at, and what I have like felt myself with songs from Melanie Martinez and her new album about a dystopia that, oh, I just heard a click, that things are coming to light in that area about children being taken. So that's also something that I'm feeling. And obviously children have to do with the womb. And then we were just talking about like this falsely inflated womb. So a lot of clearing happening, I would say definitely in like the lower chakras or the lower parts of the body. So from like obviously the midsection, like here, stomach and down, you may be feeling some sort of swelling or experiencing like a fiery sensation. And then what fire also does, you know, fire in the belly, it's very cleansing. So like I said, like a fire can like be very big but not be as hot as like a smaller fire, like things like that. But at the same time, the fire itself is very cleansing. And I feel now I'm going to take a moment and decide whether or not I'm going to get some cards or I'm going to see if anything else is coming in. So what I'm hearing now is about like false accountability, or like taking accountability for something that's not yours. So today I had an experience twice back to back from the same person who was projecting their own insecurities, their own self-doubts, their own limiting beliefs onto me, but in a way that was attempting to make me feel guilty and unsuitable for something that I was responsible for. And that is also a part of what I'm saying, like this false accountability, this kind of a relocating. And what I was getting with that is how I watched this beautiful video that I can't ever find now. But I watched this beautiful video, and it was talking about how the different viruses or what have you, that come out, and how they're always named after animals, and how what that says subconsciously is like it's blaming the animals for the sickness of humans, and therefore kind of like encouraging like this disassociation from animals. But also kind of like saying to you like subconsciously, since a lot of humans do, you know, consume meat products or animal products, that what's making you sick, and like you're putting this attention and negative energy on like the animals, but you're also consuming them. So it's like this double whammy. But what I was getting just now is like the allocation of like these the false allocation of responsibility, like not taking accountability and like swiveling it to someone else, the redirecting of guilt, the redirecting of sin, the redirecting of error. And that's something that I experienced today. And I remembered that I have experienced this many times in my life, through someone in my family. And I was thinking like, like why is it a pattern that I've experienced before? And it's interesting that it's coming out now, because what I heard from someone, what was her name? Andrea. I don't know her last name. If I did, I'd say it. But this woman named Andrea, she was explaining how this September is going to be the closing out of the cycle that started in September of 2024. And what happened for me in September of 2024 was something that was very heartbreaking. It was very like, much like I put myself out there to really like chase my dreams, and it got like shut down, like smacked, rejected in my face in this very direct kind of way. And it put me in this kind of frenzied state, because you know, when you risk something like that and you put yourself out there like that, it's kind of like you go with like no plan. So after that plan was shut down, like it was like this frenzy state of no plan. And so that moment, it felt like a slap in the face. And in the end, I learned so much and I healed so much, and I got like the best gifts ever in my life from that rejection. But I feel like with it coming to a close in this September 2026 time, it's like gonna be like the opposite of a slap. It's gonna be like a little, you know, little shoosh to the cheeks is what I'm feeling. I'm very excited about that. I don't really like to like talk too much about time, because we live in it, but we also don't. It's more like event markers, as Ramona Lappin likes to say. But I do feel really guided to talk about this one. So I'm going to take a moment again to take a breath and see what else is coming through, or if I need to pull any cards. Okay, so something that I was getting earlier, because I was doing like my preparing for the posts I'm gonna make on social media this week. If you want to see those, make sure you subscribe. Excuse me. And one of the messages was saying how it's a good time right now to be wearing black and like be using black crystals or anything like black salt. Black is a very protective color, as well as very healing. And black, if you think about like the inside of the womb, like that void space, the darkness in the womb, it's a very nourishing place. It's a place full of nutrients. It's a place where everything is created from. And so right now it's like this quick like ending of like chapters and like a quick flip to like new beginnings. And so I feel that the best and most suitable for this time is the color black. Get your black crystals out, things like that. Something else that's been interesting is the show Lovecraft Country. It was one of those things where like the phone reads your mind, because I was watching F is for Family, and one of the voice actors on there, I recall that he has died. And I was like, I remember that because he was in this show that I loved called Love. Why are you purring so loud? Called Lovecraft Country. And he was one of the actors in that show, and he was phenomenal. And then that show got canceled, even though it was so good and had such high ratings. And then he died shortly after the show was announced to be canceled. And without me even looking it up, I was on YouTube watching a completely different, like, related video. It was underneath that video, Lovecraft Country, a complete like breakdown and review. And I hadn't looked this up in years, so it just showed you how like the technology reads your mind. But I still took that as my sign, because Lovecraft Country was about the revealing of all these magics that go on in society that kind of like go unknown, or like kind of get like renamed or retitled and disguised. What are you doing, kitty? What are you doing? What's going on? They get disguised as like something else, like bad luck, misfortune, a coincidence, an accident, you know, like perchance is kind of how citizens get told that something kind of works out. But it's actually these very intentional events, these very well planned out, very well thought out events that happen. And Lovecraft Country went into detail about these things and how they are enacted in real life. And it's very, very good show. And then even the guy from Lovecraft Country, who's the main character, he faced like he was about to like blow up, in my opinion. He booked like this very big role in Marvel. I forget like the name of him. Ken, something like that. He was gonna be like the next like Thanos, like this really big character, which I was excited for. But right like when he got that role and he was in the first movie, which kind of sucked, that you could tell they didn't really put much into it, he got into this really messy lawsuit, and it really like tanked. Like he was canceled from that role. And since then, he hasn't gotten like any major motion picture roles since then, which I find, you know, very interesting. I'm not saying anybody's innocent or whatever have you. I just think that's very interesting, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Who else is in that movie? Very interesting people. What was her name? Ingenue. I forget her last name, but there's an actor. Her name is Ingenue. She was also in Lovecraft Country, and I saw her again in this movie called Origins, based on this book about the caste system. And that one's about this woman's life, that kind of like all of these not little incidents happen in her life, where like I think every year or something, like back to back, she had like one parent die, another parent die, her husband die, like back to back. And so basically what I'm getting at is there is in my stomach's like hurting as I'm like saying, it's like feeling like fiery. As I'm saying this, is that the inflammation, to go back to that, is exposing where these embedded things are. Like if you get like a thorn stuck in your finger, like there's going to be inflammation. It's showing you, hey, something is here that's about to be flushed out. And you might be thinking like that this is my thing, but it's actually this foreign object that's in you. It's this thorn that's in you. And that's the other part of the story that typically doesn't get told. That's what I mean by like the redirecting, the rerouting of responsibility, of accountability to the people. So I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to do a cleanse of this. I have my Alabama water here for cleansing. I'm not going to spray it because it's going to scare Kitty, the sound of the spray bottle. But I do have it here. It smells really good. I made this myself. I'm going to do a cleanse for whatever comes through. And I hope this supports you. If you're still watching this, please give this live a like. Please do some hearts and leave a comment. And let's get into it. And then after that, I think I know I will pull something. Shabare kom sera anaka shamare kosira anaka ire kira ano uika. I am releasing any and everything that is not mine, any and everything that does not belong to me, any and everything that is foreign to my ancestry, to my bloodline. I am releasing now. I am returning it back to sender or to source or to both, whichever is for the highest good of all. Homashirim. I am releasing any and everything that is not mine, any and everything that has been stuck in my body, in my energy, them all throughout lifetimes, parallel as they exist now as the one and total of the all. I'm releasing any and everything that is stuck, that is foreign to me, that is not mine. I return it to sender. I return it to the origin. Himashikira. I release every hidden agenda in language, every embedded code meant to keep me stuck, meant to keep me looping, meant to keep me suffering, meant to withhold me from what I am destined to access, from what is mine by birthright, from what is mine by choice, by creation. I release it back. I return it. I reactivate my keys, my sacred codes, my keys to the kingdom, my keys to my home, to my land. I now use my keys to open doors, to open portals, to access what is mine, what is in alignment with my true nature. I am returning home now. I am releasing any and everything that is not mine. Any and everything that is in my bloodline, in my DNA, in my ancestry, that is foreign, that is alien, that is not meant to be, that is no longer serving me. I revoke permission. I delete contracts. I cancel deals. I eliminate offerings, hidden agendas, and embedded in contracts. I delete, I cancel, I erase, I revoke, I cast out. Homashire kina a ama ana oroki ana esere kina aroku. Ima e ana ma oroku ana isi kina ma aroku ana se ere sho ana ma ara kana na si ana na masoa. I now ignite the light that is within my heart already, truth as a sword shining through and within me. I am the sword of truth, and it is igniting now within me vertically from the top of my head down, through my root down, through my stomach, coming out the other side. I am the Sword of Truth. And in this truth is nothing but pure love. And any and everything that is not of that is removed now, is revoked now. I am igniting a cleansing on all levels. A cleansing so deep and so thorough that it misses nothing, that nothing hidden can no longer remain so, can no longer sustain itself, can no longer feast on my heavenliness, on my holiness, on my love. I cast you out, I kick you out now. Only love is welcome to me. Only that which is a frequential match to myself, to my DNA, to my ancestry, to my truth, before and after all of my parallel lives, right now, existing as one. We are all one. We are all aligned with this truth, with this mission, with this destiny. Now, I am the Sword of Truth. I ignite the light of this Sword of Truth within my entire being, all of my beings right now. And so I remove any and everything that is no longer serving me, that is not mine, that is not a match with myself, that is foreign to me, that is alien. I remove. You are revoked. You are sent home. And so I return home to myself, kingdom keys in hand, pushing them into the keyhole, turning them, unlocking the lock, opening the door, and now I have access to paradise. Homasi, omase, asa ana oroki ana ase, ana sa amo ana ikina sa arokua. And now imagine yourself with this beautiful glowing light at your base, radiating from there, hot and warm, like the kiss of the sun, warming you up and forming a giant egg shape all around you, as if you are in the center of a beautiful flower. Feel this warmth radiating from your bottom up around you, all the way to a few feet on top of your head. In this space, you are home. In this space, you are free. You have plenty of room to be. You are no longer oppressed or suppressed or depressed. There is plenty room for you in all of that which you are. You're not limited even in this womb, even in this egg, even in this origin. You are limitless. And you are safe to be free. And now, when you choose to, now or after, it could be later tonight, later today, depending on when you're watching this, I want you to imagine your hands turning to face outside of you, bringing them up on top of your head to gently open this egg, this flower. To completely free yourself. And so you are free, and so it is, so mote to be, and so it is done. And so it is done. Wow. I feel better. Kitty, you do not have to go out. You just don't like that the door is closed. You don't have to go out. Okay. What do I want to get? Which card do I want to pull? I feel like this one. We're going to get an oracle card from White Light Oracle, deck by Alana Fairchild. That's what I'm feeling. Last night I had a dream about this tiger. So remember that. Kitty just reminded me. It was weird because I think the tiger was like a police officer. Like it was like high level of consciousness. Okay. All right, 2 cards came out. That's okay. Again, this is a deck by Alana Fairchild. We have, wow, this one came out, these two came out earlier. That's weird. I'm gonna just go with it. I didn't shuffle that much, that's probably why. 528 Hertz Mandala of the Heart. It's better as these two because the nipples are kind of covered in these. This deck got a lot of nipples in it. Aurora of Gamma. Not that there's anything wrong with nipples, but YouTube doesn't like nipples. Hoo hoo hoo, hey hey hey. Both of these got like sun imagery around the head. And almost kind of like, especially this one, like the egg I was kind of describing coming from the bottom. And it looked like this person is like coming out of the egg. So definitely like a lot of birth, womb shit happening. I feel like this one is like encouraging you to speak. And I feel like this one is encouraging you to like know your worth. But we are gonna read card. Oh wow, they're 27 and 17, 10 apart in this year 10. So we're gonna read definitely number 27. It's time to let go of what has been. You are swiftly outgrowing your past. Explore and commit to a spiritual practice that supports your personal transformation so that you can cross the threshold before you now. Embrace your freedom to be creative in your approach, rather than doggedly committing yourself to your previous ideas or plans. You have the spiritual intelligence necessary to evolve. Continue your healing journey with trust that a positive outcome is imminent. I've been having like issues with like speaking as well. Like these little speech impediments in my words. It's interesting. Aurora is the Roman goddess of the dawn, the bringer of light, and initiatrix of a new cycle or chapter in your life. She is the luminous dispeller of darkness, the flickering flame of hope in the heart that can burn into such a radiant, holy fire that even the greatest challenges do not cause the soul to turn away in fear. Her presence in a reading signifies a fresh start and the overcoming of an old cycle. Mic drop. I said this. Gamma rays are high frequency, typically 40 hertz in humans. I was listening to 40 hertz earlier, pretty sure, but extending to higher levels with hyper gamma oscillating at around 100 hertz. There's that 10 again. Associated with spiritual insight and clarity, pure vision, and breakthrough awareness, the gamma state is associated with high-level processing that leads to integration and evolution. With the gamma frequency, we transform knowledge into wisdom through application. We tap into our ability to integrate information, and in doing so, are truly healed and transformed. As the world around us becomes increasingly complex, the capacity for superior processing is swiftly becoming necessary for the spiritual, emotional, psychological, and even physical well-being of humanity. There's a strong link between spiritual practices such as meditation and the production of gamma waves. When we experience a heightened state of spiritual awareness, an expansive sense of being, or a powerful connection with the universe or spirit, our brain is in gamma mode. Shifting our gray matter gears into gamma waves can facilitate the breaking up of stagnant modes of thinking and behaving. This is the sacred frequency of evolution. Humans who are stuck in patterns repeat the same stories, the same words, the same thoughts over and over, as though on a repeated loop. The soul can begin to wither within such constriction. What is needed is something new and increasingly alive, such as the life-stimulating grace of encounters with the unfamiliar. Connection to gamma waves can enhance our capacity to embrace the unfamiliar, and through that openness of being, constructive adaptation is enhanced. Our way of being becomes more fluid, responsive, creative, We engage with our experiences and grow positively through how we respond to what is happening. Aurora of gamma indicates a shift into a new cycle, but also the growing, like inflammation, the growing presence of the light within, which is the creative light of spirit. Tuning into that light opens up options for living soulfully, away from the grip of ignorance, no longer constantly ensnared by the compelling but ultimately fraudulent conjurations of ego. I talked about things being fraudulent. Her new era is an inner transformation within positive external consequences. I'm going to read that again. Her new era is an inner transformation with positive external consequences, like something being inflamed. Trust in what your inner light is manifesting in your heart and in our world. Because what I was getting, it's so crazy how like things like connect throughout the day. I was watching this woodsy video, this guy in the woods, and he kept finding all these blueberries. I think it's like blueberry season right now, like really good. And he was saying that blueberries grow like, or those in particular grow very good in areas where there were like fires there. So that's like what I was getting from this is like growth from fires, growth from something being inflamed, like fires burn down what's no longer supposed to be there, what's no longer serving you. And then from the ash, you can like grow again. And the same thing with like the womb. There's like a fire in the womb. You know, there's passion in the womb in that area, and then it inflates. And what's being removed is like this false like allocation, redirecting of like somebody else's actions and consequences, and then the rerouting back to yourself, your consequences for your actions, which are ultimately leading you to this new beginning. Hope that makes sense. I'm not done. I'm gonna read the second card, but I need to get a different drink. Hold your horses. Wait. What's up, kitty? Why are you looking like that? Hop, hop, hop. All right, 17. Just a dream. It used to be 17. 5 to 8 hertz mandala of the heart. Sometimes aspects of our life fall apart or don't go to plan. This is so they can come back together in a beautiful new way. Trust in the goodness, in the inevitable blessings of your destiny falling into place. Do not trust your fears. Put your faith in the love of your heart. A heartfelt wish is going to manifest. Okay. Mandala of the heart is the expression. I got this card like the other day or something. The mandala of the heart is the expression of the divine feminine power within. It is the life-changing experience of love, healing, compassion, deep repair, and restoration that can only happen when we feel safe and loved enough to truly let go. This is what I was just describing in that egg, in that rosebud or flower bud. Like in that space, you're safe. There's enough room for you. Despite what the wounded opinions of ego might have one believe, love is the most powerful consciousness on the planet, on the earth. It is also highly intelligent. As we open to heal with the frequency of love in our hearts, we naturally evoke positive effects in the lives of others too. We attract positive intervention from spirit. Pathways open up, magic happens. Love is the path to the transformational, the alchemical, and the miraculous. It is the means by which negative patterns are reversed and the original. I just said this. This is crazy. I'm going to say it again. Love is the path to the transformational, the alchemical, and the miraculous. It is the means by which negative patterns are reversed and the original purity and beauty of our innate spiritual perfection can manifest itself in all dimensions, including the physical. Wow, I just said this about redirecting. We may feel we are bumbling along, yet we are blessed with an invisible, powerful field of grace moving with us, ensuring that our actions, I'm going to say ancestors because that's what I'm hearing, ensuring that our ancestral actions yield the best outcomes and that we attract what we truly want and need. The heart has access to wisdom more powerful than logic, which can overcome any obstacle. To enter into that wisdom, we have to trust in something greater than our own limited opinions and our own limited allegiance to our history. Your heart is more than connected to the universal heart. It is a holographic emanation, part of the sacred mandala of the divine feminine heart, and as such holds divine genius and power. It wants to manifest that which is evolving, new, inspired, and beautiful. To believe that history must repeat itself, or that what we imagine is the limit of what can happen, is to deny the power of the heart and the generosity of divine grace. We need radical lovers and inspired dreamers who dare to invite in the most outlandishly blessed interventions of the universal heart for all beings. I mentioned that earlier about myself and like the radicalness that I was on. I'm gonna read that again. We need radical lovers and inspired dreamers who dare to invite in the most outlandishly blessed interventions of the universal heart for all beings. You have it within your heart to be one of those prayer alchemists for humanity. 5 to 8 hertz is the love frequency of creation. I talked about like being in the womb and that the color black, and that's the state of creation. Woo, woo, woo. 5 to 8 hertz is the love frequency of creation. The choices, decisions, and projects inspired by love have countless and far-reaching positive effects. As we tune in to that inner frequency, we connect to all hearts in a powerful alchemical network which delivers an infusion of divine protection and uplifting wisdom into the human collective. Priestesses, sound alchemists, and heart healers work with these frequencies, understanding their capacity to evoke the alchemical and the miraculous. These are our spiritual brothers and sisters cultivating and radiating the consciousness of love that's soothing and inducing medicine of the soul. Wow. In a reading, this oracle affirms that honoring deep soul bonds and sharing healing with your soul tribe is an important facet of your purpose. You have the power of love in your heart. It is the healing spiritual glue that can bring people together for a higher purpose. It inspires others and generates positive energy to lighten the emotional load many souls carry. When 5 to 8 hertz mandala of the heart appears in your reading, you are being put on notice that the divine feminine has a vision for your soul and is organizing events accordingly. She will guide you through your heart, and with her protection, the manifestation of your soul path is assured. Somebody just touched my hand when I said that. Wow. I feel like a new girl. Beautiful cards. I'll let you look at a little bit more. Take a gaze, take a gander. All right, I am Jabria. I'm the Bright Queen. If you would like to work with me, my email is th, both lowercase, the number 3, lowercase the word bright, and lowercase the word queen, no spaces, and at gmail.com. Or if you'd like to work with me through a collective, I work with a collective of people at Mind and Body Reset. You can type in MIND, the letter N, body, reset.com, and you'll find me there under Services with Jabria. Thank you so much for your support, especially all the people who be liking my posts, who be watching my shorts. I am so grateful for you. I would love to do more like long form content and even like lives like this, but I've been busy. If you'd like to support me, you can continue to do so by subscribing, watching my things, reposting my things, commenting on my work, and booking a service with me. I do readings, mediumship readings, tarot and oracle readings, as well as spiritual coaching, where I help beautiful people like yourself to become more connected with their own intuition, with their own soul's remembrance. And I'm so excited about everything. I'm about to go give myself some self-care, some self-love, and I'm sending all of this to you on a silver platter, floating to you now. It's filled with love,